The problem that we are looking today is subarray sum equals k, which is a LeetCode 30-day challenge problem. So let's go through the question. Given an array of integers and an integer k, you need to find the total number of contiguous or continuous subarrays whose sum equals k. So let's go through the example that they have given. So here the array is 1 1 1 and the k is 2. So you have to find all the continuous subarrays whose sum equals 2. So here this is one array whose sum is 2 and this is another array whose sum is 2. So the output is 2. So how can we solve this? Okay, so one way to solve this is for every I, I'll go from I equal to 1 to 0 to a length minus 1, and for every I, and I'll go from every next j till end, and between all those ij pairs I will find the sum of the elements and I'll see if it is 2, and if it is 2 I'll keep on incrementing the count. So let's write some pseudocode. So it will be like so this will start from I plus 1. For every I from the next on I'm finding all the pairs and finding the sum between them. So here I'll have some function which will find so this function will find the sum of all the elements between I and j. So and if this it will return some value, say, and if this value is equal to k, then I'll keep on incrementing some counter. So I'll have a and here I'll check if this n equal k. I keep incrementing this counter, so something like this. But this approach will take n square number of iterations, so we should be asking, can we do something better? Okay, so what we can also do is we can follow some two pointer approach. Okay, so if I consider an example where array is and k, what can I take? Okay, I'll take k as 4. So with two pointers, what I can do is I can have two pointers, and the first pointer, first it is initialized to the first element, second one to I plus 1 j. So this is like a sliding window, and I'll have a sum of elements between this I and j. So which is 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, that is less than 4. So what I'll do is I'll include one more element and check. So I'll increment this j here. So now I have a running sum. Okay. So this is between I and j. So initially when I was here and j was here, the sum was 3. So this was less. So I'll increment this j one more step here. So and now the sum becomes 3 plus this j, which is 2, 5. So this is not equal to k, right? So I won't do anything to count, but this is greater than k. So I'll reduce the size of window from left. So this I goes here, and I'll subtract this element from here. Okay, this j was here, right? So it got missed. So I went here and I have to subtract this, so it became 3. And now this 3 is less than 4, right? So I'll increase the size of window by this, and now I'll add this element to the running sum, which makes the sum 4. So now 4 equals 4, right? So this count which I had initially to 0, this I make it 1, and again I'll increment this. So j is here, and when I incremented this I have to reduce the element which is here to 3. So this is less than 4, so I have to increment this j2 by one more step and add this, so it becomes 8. And this is greater than 4, right? So I have to decrement this I now. It goes here and this 2 gets subtracted 6. So which is still greater, so I'll come, which is still greater, right? So now, okay, I can still bring this I to here. So I'll subtract this 5. And again it is greater, and ij will both be pointing to the end of the list. So so now what is the count that I had, so which is 1, so I can return this. So but this only works for positive integer. When negative integers are jumbled in between, this method won't hold good. And if you see from this example, if you see, it is positive, but if you see the range of the numbers, it is from -1000 to 1000. So it may include negative numbers as well in between, so we can't use this approach. So then you should ask what else we can do. So now the concept of running sum comes into mind. Say suppose I have a number line, okay, which starts from 0, and I have some number x or some, okay, running sum, and so this running sum is obtained by adding all the next elements, and and again I have some numbers here, and then I have another running sum. So I'll call this running sum 1 and running sum 2. So I keep on calculating at every step the running sum, okay, and I have these two running sum. This, and if the difference between this two running sum is k, here the difference between the two running sums is k, so then there exists a subarray between this running sum and this running sum whose sum is k, right? So if the difference between these two running sums is k, then the difference is caused by this, and this sum should be equals to k. So this is the trick that we can use here to solve this in O of n time. So what this again means is that uh, okay, let's take an example and try this out. That time we can understand it better. Say I have this sequence, I mean array. Okay, I have to find a subarray with length 6, and I have this array. So this is the array, and I want to find for k equal to 6. Okay, so at every stage, if I go on calculating running sum, here it is 0, here it is 0 plus 1 1, here it will be 4, here again it becomes 0, and here it becomes 3, here it becomes 4, here 8, and here 10. So what does this mean? So here I have this, say, running sum as 2, which is 10, and if I have another running sum 1, which is 4, that is running sum 1, and if the difference between them is k, which is 4 and 2, I mean sorry, uh, the difference is k, that is 6, that is 4, between 4 and 10. So then the sum of elements between them should be equal to k, that is this 4 plus 2. So we'll use this property here, and we also have another property, right? So if I get any two numbers, right, which are same here, So I got 4 here and again I got 4 here. So that means that the sum of the elements between these two, I mean these are running sum, right? So if the same running sum I obtain, the different the elements between them would sum up to 0. So if you see here, this also is 4, this also is 4. If I want to get 4 again after I got 4 here, then all the elements between them should be 0, otherwise it will be larger than 4. So here if you see, this is 4 and this is 4, but because here this entire subarray will result in a 0, so that will have that negative impact and make this again the same number, otherwise it should be greater than this 4. So these two tricks we can combine together. Say here at every stage I am seeing if I have this running sum minus k. So okay, so how I will do is I'll have a hash map, okay, which has running sums. Sum and count. So at every stage I'll update this with a sum and how many times I got this. So why do we need this? Okay, so here you know that I got this 10 and minus k 6. Okay, here 4. So this subarray has the sum of 6. Okay, and there can be a larger subarray to the left of it that has a sum of 0. So if you see here, right, this again has a net effect of 0. So if I include this also, the sub is 6. So here this is 6. So if there is a something that causes that makes the sum as 0, then I can have this array also this whole array. So both of them have a sum of 6. And how we can identify is, if anything, I have this running sum minus k is present. So this 10 minus 6, so it is present here as well as it is present here. So how many count it is present, so that we have to see. So that is what here, sum and count. So let's code this up and see how it looks. I think you get a better understanding. So first I'll have a variable to 0 count, which will be the result. So and also I'll have a running sum. So this is 0 initially, and I'll put 0 also to this running sum, so initial one, and then I'll go from throughout the array. And every element I keep on updating to running sum. And now I'll check if this k is present. Okay, in the sense running sum minus k. Okay, sorry, I haven't initially written the hash map yet. Okay, we need the hash map, right? We have not written it. So if map contains this, then I'll update this with how much it has, I mean the count. So this actually means this two arrays, right? So this 10 minus 6, how many times it is present we are checking. It is present once here and another time here. So there are two subarrays that are possible. One is this 2 and 4, sorry, and other is this one. So because this entire thing has net effect of 0, there are two arrays possible. Either you include this 0 sum array, or you don't include it and only include this, or include both of them. So this you have done, and then you have to put this to the map, right? This current sum. and finally you are returning the count. Okay, we got the same answer. Let's submit this. Okay, accept. Thank you. If you like this video, hit the like button, and please share it among your friends and classmates and help us reach out more people. Thank you.